he was told to start a periodical in Hindi, and then he was told to start a center there in Raipur, in Chhattisgarh. Now, that time it was in Madhya Pradesh, now it is in Chhattisgarh, Raipur. So he requested the authorities to allow him to start a center. You know, we are in our tradition of Ramakrishna order, we take up the responsible position after getting sannyas diksha. So he was told, no, you first concentrate on your tapasya, on your spiritual practices. A time will come, at proper time we will do that. But he got this dream 3 times. So he went there to Raipur and started an ashrama in a small old house, a very small house and very old, dilapidated house. He started there in one part of Raipur center, Raipur city, started the ashrama. And then he got the land from the government and started the ashrama in big way and built up so many buildings. And gradually the ashram started functioning, but but he was removed from the Ramakrishna mission because he had not listened to the authorities. That was very much sorrowful. He became very much sorrowful after listening to that news, but he had no other alternative. That when the ashrama became bigger and bigger, and then lot of service activities started exactly as per the rules of Ramakrishna mission. In 1967, after observing that the Ramakrishna Mission Vivekanand Memorial is doing all the activities exactly as per the conditions laid down by Ramakrishna Mission, and also at that time some relief work was being done, and there also the Vivekananda Ashram had done a lot of relief work. So they were very much pleased. And then this Vivekananda Ashrama was affiliated with Ramakrishna Mission. And Swami Atmananji was taken back. It's a very rare thing when a monk is taken back. So he was taken back into the order, and again he was earlier he had taken sannyas diksha himself, and from Tej Chetan he had become Atmananji and become very famous by the time he got this sannyas diksha second time from Velumat. So by that time he had become very much famous all over the country. He used to deliver discourses. Swami Atmananji, even now if you ask anybody in the Hindi belt, Swami Atmananji is a name to reckon with. Wonderful orator, wonderful writer, wonderful poet, wonderful musician, wonderful singer, wonderful player, all-rounded personality. So a very charismatic personality. So he was taken back, and the Ramakrishna Mission was again this Vivekananda Ashrama was affiliated with Ramakrishna Mission. Single-handed, just imagine the confidence level that he had. When he was turned away from the order, he was all alone, single-handed. He established the ashrama, single-handed. He collected the funds, single-handed. He constructed the buildings, single-handed. He carried out all the service activities without any help from the Belumat headquarters. He did everything with tremendous amount of confidence. With great confidence, he passed the examination, masters, and got the gold medal. Passed the IAS examination with star marks, with tremendous confidence. Carried out all these activities. Carried out austerities also in Himalayas with full confidence. And now there was a turning point in 1984. He had gone to a place in Bastar district, which is in Chhattisgarh itself now. And there he saw the people, oh, very pathetic condition. Even women had almost no clothes. Men had no clothes. Women had almost no clothes. And they were surviving. There was not a single animal or bird alive. And they did not know agriculture also. And that whole area was called Abuj Mar. This Abuj Mar, Abuj means one who, जिसको समझा नहीं जा सका, जिसको बोझा नहीं जा सका, उसका नाम Abuj Mar. The land which is not known to anybody. Even the government records that land was not there. About 1,000 square kilometer land was no man's land. It was called Abujmar. Mar means land. The land which is not known to anybody, even not known to the government. A very much interior, deep forest. In that place they were living. And Swami Vatmananji was in tears, looking at their poverty, looking at their ignorance, looking at their illiteracy, looking at their pathetic condition. And how much pathetic you can understand, and how much they were cheated. Now you see, they did not know agriculture, what they were taking animals and birds. Now, the most important thing that was not available, they had some fruits from the trees, and they had animals and birds. Now they did not know even to how to cook also. Now, there the only thing that was missing was salt for their test. So they used to walk all the 20 kilometers away to purchase salt in the nearby market. And these merchants, they used to say, we will not cheat you. So they will take the balance. On one side, there will be salt, and on the other side, there will be a fruit called chironji. Chironji is a very, very costly fruit. This is 1 rupee kilo at that time, and this is 500 rupees kilo at that time. But they will say, you know, we have not cheated you. Both are equal. And these poor villagers, they feel that they are not being cheated. 500 times the price, and he is still against 1 kg of this chironji fruit, they are giving only 1 kg of salt. They should have given minimum 10 kg, 100 kg of salt, but they are giving 1 kg of salt. So this is what Swami Atmanji saw, and he was very much perturbed. So he thought of starting these input centers. He thought of educating them. So he requested the government and got the land in Narayanpur, which is near that in Bastar district, and near to that Abujmar. There is 42 acres of land he got. And the government of Madhya Pradesh, at that time it was under Madhya Pradesh, they sanctioned 2.25 crore rupees. This is how in 1985 the project started. Now, today, what is the position? Today, just see the beautiful buildings there in Narayanpur. These children, the students, they are praying, they are doing exercise, their total personality development is happening to them, and they have become doctors and engineers whose parents, they did not know how to wear the cloth. Their children are now becoming doctors and engineers. Not only that, they go even to Subrato football team. They became the winners all over India in acting, in drama, in plays, in games. So what Swami Vivekananda said, each and every soul is potentially divine. There is infinite power inside every person. This Abujmar development project is a demonstration of that. These children who were so poor, born to illiterate and poor parents, are having so much of confidence that they are competing in national examinations, and they are playing national games, and they are winning at the national level. All these children, they have become so great now. So they have also conquered, even academically, they have become doctors, engineers, and they have become in drama, in sports, in games, in music, everywhere they were excelled, and they are getting total personality development in this institution. As on today, about 1,500 boys and 1,000 girls are getting trained here in total personality development. Look at that. From 1985, now it is 2000. What a tremendous change. All this was brought out because of the tremendous efforts of Swami Atmananji. So it is a great personality, the wonderful work that he has done, and at least 20 boys became monks of Ramakrishna order, and all of them, all the monks have become, they became quite popular in terms of being orators, in terms of their achievements and all that. They all became very learned monks of Ramakrishna Mission, more than 20 under his inspiration. And more than 20 centers came up in and around Raipur, in Madhya Pradesh, in Chhattisgarh, in Orissa, nearby places, wherever he used to go for traveling. All these 20 centers have now come up. There was only one center that he started, and all the satellite centers have now become official centers of Ramakrishna Mission. Just imagine the output of work that he has done. So he was asked this question: what is the secret of your success? How could you achieve so much? Then he said, this is only because of my level of self-confidence. And then he said, when I was 13-year old, at that time, I had gone to my friend's house, and there I got a photograph of Swami Vivekananda, the Chicago Post photograph of Swami Vivekananda. And there it was written below the photograph, the old religion said, he is an atheist who does not believe in God. The new religion says, he is an atheist who does not believe in himself. And he said, I was so much enamored, so much impressed by that message. Then I started reading more and more books of Swami Vivekananda. And I was filled with tremendous power, tremendous self-confidence. And then he said, Swami Atmanandaji said, this is how it started. The journey started from a small quotation of Swami Vivekananda. Which is the quotation? The old religion said, he is an atheist who does not believe in God. The new religion says, he is an atheist who does not believe in himself. So first of all, believe in yourself, and says faith, 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 faith in yourself, faith in God. This is the secret of greatness. Then he says, if you have faith in 330 millions of gods and goddesses of your country, and if you also got faith in the other gods and goddesses that you have imported from the other countries, but if you do not have faith in yourself, you are an atheist. So first have faith in yourself. Self-confidence is the key to success. Self-confidence is the key to greatness. Self-confidence is key to all your endeavors, getting success in all your endeavors. So this is the message of Swami Vivekananda, which was implemented by Swami Vivekananda in his own life, by Swami Atmanandaji in his own life. So I have given a demonstration model. This is what has happened. By reading one passage of Swami Vivekananda, he got life transformed. Then he read more and more books of Swami Vivekananda, and then he became an instrument in igniting the other young minds and inspiring at least 20 young men to join Ramakrishna Mission and 2 girls to join Sarada Math, and to start 20 centers of Ramakrishna Mission. And this Abujmal Tribal Development Project, such a huge project, was his brainchild because of the compassion, that the great feeling that he had for these poor people. So just imagine the paradigm shift that has come. Just imagine the total changeover that has come in that place. And mind you, it is a Naxalite infected area. You must have heard that. Abujmal, Bastar district, full of Naxalites. There we are working at the risk of our life. Once Swamiji was lifted by them and said, why are you doing all these things? Why are you developing them? Because once they get educated, then they will not join a Naxal group. So why are you doing that? You must stop the activities. Then our Swamiji said, we have not started our activity at your inspiration. We are inspired by Swami Vivekananda to work among the tribals, to work among the primitive tribes, to work among the poor people. He is our master, and we follow him, and we do not follow you. Do you know with whom you are talking? He took up the gun. Just at this moment, I can fire you. He said, you want to kill us? We have already been killed. When we took Sannyas Diksha, at that time, we already left the world. Now we are in ghost body. So you cannot do anything to me. Already I have been killed earlier. I have left the world. I am now a monk. I am not afraid of any death or anything. We will continue our activities. We are not going to stop. This fellow, this Naxalite leader, he had not seen any person like that. Then he said, Swamiji, let us have a compromise. You should not tell about our activities to anybody. Even if you see our car, you should not tell the government. And we will not touch you. Okay? So the deal was struck. So since that time, the Naxalites are, we are working in Naxalite area. Can you imagine? Naxalite, full of Naxalite. But now gradually, because these so many children are getting educated, when they are going and they are becoming educated, they are becoming enlightened. It is they who are telling their parents. And likewise, the gradually the light of knowledge is going among the villages, and a transformation is taking place. A tremendous transformation is taking place. But all this credit goes to Swami Atmananji. And why Swami Atmananji became Atmananji from Tulendra Verma? How he became? One quote of Swami Vivekananda. Just imagine, one quote of Swami Vivekananda can transform so much. If you read the whole book of Swami Vivekananda, what will happen? Take up any one quotation, whatever appeals to you. Think over it day and night. Think over that idea. Work on it. And you will find tremendous power coming to you, tremendous confidence coming to you. The basic, the idea of Swami Vivekananda was to make each and every one person know that he or she has an infinite power. This is the message that he delivered in the World Parliament Religions. When we were talking about, when I was reading the paper on Hinduism, he gave that message of the divinity of the soul, that infinite power. Whether you are a man or a woman, whether you are a boy or a girl, whether you are poor or you are rich, higher caste or lower caste, Indian or American, you belong to any country, any state, any language, any gender, any age, any strata, you must remember inside each and every human being, there is a center of consciousness which is having infinite power. We are not body-mind complex as the modern psychologist wants us to believe. No. Vedanta says each and every human being has got a center of consciousness under which dwells infinite power. Esha sarveshu bhuteshu gulo atma na prakashate drishyate tvagraya buddhya shukshmaya shukshmadarshvi. Inside every human being, there is a center of consciousness having infinite power. Sarveshu bhuteshu. There is no bracket there. Inside every human being, irrespective of caste, creed, color, religion, nationality, there is a center of consciousness called Atman. Esha sarveshu bhuteshu gudo atma na prakashate. The Atman is there, but it is hidden. It is not visible. Then how to believe it? What is the proof? Proof is Drishyate. Some people have seen it. Some people have seen it. Who have seen it? Drishyate tagraya buddhya shukshmaya shukshmadarshibhi. Those who have got very concentrated mind, those who have got extraordinary intellect, they have seen that Atman, they have realized this Atman, and that is the proof of this Atman. Dharendranath Dutt, who later became Swami Vivekananda, was a college student. In Scottish Church College, he was studying at that time. And then he had read Hegel, John Stuart Mill, Kant, and Herbert Spencer, so many Western philosophers, and he became agnostic. He said, I am the son of a barrister, so I want documentary proof. Whenever he will feel that some saint has come, he will go, and then he'll talk about God. Says, okay, now tell me, have you seen God? Nobody could answer. Then one day he went to Maharishi Devendranath Tagore, the father of Rabindranath Tagore, who had started Brahma Samaj. He heard that he is meditating too much in a cabin. So he went to the cabin in a steamer. He was meditating. After his meditation over, he said, you are meditating too much on God. Now I want to ask you one question. Have you seen God? The Maharishi Devendranath Tagore looked at him and said, my dear boy, your eyes are beautiful. Narendranath became very much disappointed. I want to reply of my question, and your eyes are beautiful. I don't want my admiration. I want my reply. Nobody could give. Then one day he had gone to the college, Scottish Church College. At that time, the principal was Professor William Hastie. That day, the English professor was absent. Nowadays, if the professor is absent, there will be chutti. That time it was not there. Principal himself came to take the class, and he was teaching them English literature. Wordsworth poem, The Excursion is the name of the poem. And in that poem, there is a description that the poet goes into a trance, into a superconscious state, into samadhi, by looking at the nature. And then the students ask us, is it possible that somebody can go to a trance, go to a samadhi state, superconscious state? And the professor, Principal William has to say, yes, it is possible. I know one person who frequently enters into that state. And if you want, you can see him, because that person lives in Calcutta only. There is a temple of Dakshineshwar devoted to Mother Kali, and he stays there. That is Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Then Narendranath says, okay, chalo ye Babaji ko bhi dekhte hain. So itna Babaji ko dekha, ab isko bhi dekhte hain. He immediately went to Dakshineshwar. He went to the room of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was talking to the devotees, sitting on that small cot. So he sat down in one corner. There was a lot of talk. Then said, now enough of the talks. Now tell me, reply my question. Have you seen God? And for the first time, he received a satisfactory reply. Sri Ramakrishna said, yes, my dear boy, I have seen God. I am seeing him more intensely than I am seeing you. If you want, you also can see him, but you will have to undergo spiritual practices. Well, that is the science of religion. H2 plus O2 is equal to H2O. What? How is it possible? Hydrogen is gas, oxygen is gas. How it can get water? Well, it is not a question of belief. Come to the laboratory, have a hydrolytic process, and if you don't get water, then tell me. So Sri Ramakrishna says, yes, I have seen God. You also can see, but you have to come to the laboratory and try spiritual practices. And he accepted the challenge. And Narendranath accepted the challenge. He did spiritual practices and he got samadhi in Kashipur Udyanbati before Sri Ramakrishna passing away. And because he had direct experience of that ultimate reality, he had direct experience of God, that is why in the Parliament of World Religion, he could declare in his trumpet voice the shloka from the Shveta Upanishad. Shurvantu Vishve Amritasya Putra Aye Dhamani Divyani Tastu Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastat Tameva Viditvati Mritameti Nanya Pantha Vidyatena. I have found the ancient one is beyond all miseries. By knowing him alone, he shall be free from all miseries. And then he said, dear sisters and brothers of America, let me call you by this sweet name. What is that? Amritasya Putra. Ye, the children of immortal bliss, holy and perfect beings. Ye, divinities are not sinners. It is a sin to call them as so. It is a standing label on human nature. Come up, O lions, and shake up the delusion that you are sheep. Your soul's immortal, spirit's free, blessed and eternal. You are not matter. You are not bodies. Matter is the servant, not ye the servant of matter. This is the message that he delivered in America, which is very important today for us. If we want self-confidence under any circumstances, we can have self-confidence only if we believe we have got a center of consciousness inside us, an omniscient, omnipotent power that is called Atman inside every human being, irrespective of caste, creed, color, religion, nationality. This is the message of Swami Vivekananda. This is the message that he gave, the divinity of the soul. You are divine, you are divine. Even afterwards also, he used to tell, Vedanta does not recognize sin, it recognizes error. And the greatest error you are making when you call yourself a sinner. No. You are not sinner. Who are you? You are divine. You are divine. This is what he used to tell in America afterwards also. Now, one day, an American lady stood up and said, Swami, you are trying to hypnotize us, always telling you are divine, you are divine, you are divine. Then Swamiji immediately replied, Madam, I am not trying to hypnotize you. I am trying to de-hypnotize you. Already you are hypnotized by thinking, I am weak, I am weak, I am weak, I am sinner, I am sinner. No. I am trying to de-hypnotize you. Already you are hypnotized. I am trying to de-hypnotize you. Because you are divine, that is the first truth. You are divine, that is the second truth. You are divine, that is the third truth. You are divine, that is the last truth. There is no truth greater than this. You are divine, you are divine, you are divine. That is the message of the Upanishads. That is the message of the Vedanta, which Swami Vivekananda gives us in the modern language. You are having infinite power within each and every one of you. Only it has to be manifested. The moment it gets manifested, you can do each thing and everything. The power is already there. You don't have to import it. It is already there. मोको कहा तू ढूंढे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास में, खोजोगे तो अभी मिलूंगा पल भर की तलाश में. Kabir says, it is there. You don't have to search how to here and there. No, it is already there. But we are not able to feel it at present. We are not able to feel it. We think ourselves to be body-mind complex only. We are not able to feel that Atman. Why? Because it is hidden. Because it was told in Kathopanishad also, Esha sarveshu bhuteshu gudo atma na prakashate. It is not visible to ordinary human beings. Why it is not visible? There is a screen hiding the reality. So we have to remove the screen. That is why Kabir says, Gungat ka pat khol re, tohe piya milenge. Katu vachan mat bol re, tohe piya milenge. You will get the beloved, but you have to remove the screen. How to remove the screen? 4 methods. Swami Vivekananda says, each soul is potentially divine. The goal of human life is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. Do this either by work or worship or psychic control or philosophy, by one or more or all of these, and be free. This is the whole of religion. Doctrines, dogmas, rituals, temples, churches, mosques are but secondary details. This is the main message, the message of divinity. There is an Atman, there is the Atman, there is the divinity, but it is not in a manifested state. The goal of human life is to manifest the divinity. How? By controlling nature, external and internal. What are the methods? 4 methods: Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Karma Yoga. Combine all the 4 yogas. How? By meditating morning, evening, Raj Yoga. By praying morning, evening, that is Bhakti Yoga. By reading inspirational books morning, evening, that is Jnana Yoga. And by unselfish service. And whatever work we are doing, converting into worship. Each and every work can be converted into worship. That is Karma Yoga. Combine all the 4 yogas, and then what you get is this manifestation of the divinity. And manifestation of the divinity will give you that infinite power. Once that comes, now it is a long drawn process. It is not a matter of 1 or 2 days. But the beauty of it is that the more you go on manifesting the divinity, the more that power comes to you every day. In each and every action, you can feel it. You start from today, the journey is long. Doesn't matter. Arise, awake, and stop not till you reach the goal. What is the goal? Goal is manifesting the divinity within. That is why do not stop. Do not arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. What is the goal? Goal is manifesting the divinity. But before that, the more you develop this divinity, the more that manifestation comes, more and more power comes to you. More and more you get success in everyday life. It is not that till that time you have to just wait and wait. No, each and every moment can be converted into worship. Each and every moment you will get that feeling, that power. Each and every moment that manifestation of the divinity will give you power and self-confidence. So start manifesting the divinity and start getting self-confidence. And the best way I will tell you, if you want shortcut, everybody wants shortcut, instant. How to get instant self-confidence? Instant coffee, instant success. If don't get instant success, then instant death, suicide. This is the modern age. So everything instant. I'll give you instant formula. Formula for getting instant confidence. I'll give you just now. What is that? And this is verified, experimentally verified. Money back guarantee. What is that? Read the books of Swami Vivekananda. I have experimented. I have told so many people, read. Just by reading the books of Swami Vivekananda, you will get confidence. How is it possible? I said, just read, then let me know. Then afterwards they write to me. At that time you told, but that time we did not believe, but I am getting confidence after reading the books of Swami. I received so many letters. Nowadays letters are gone. I'm talking about so many years back. Now only email and WhatsApp message. But that time I used to receive letters. Yes, Swamiji, that time you told in the youth convention, and we did not believe at that time. But after reading the books of Swami Vivekananda, we are feeling too much power, too much confidence. And that used to increase my confidence. Now, suddenly I received one letter from Ranchi, from one girl. I will not give the name. Remember the name, but I will not give the name of that girl. She wrote to me, Swamiji, you came to Ranchi. That time there was youth convention. Then during the youth convention, you told, for getting the self-confidence, read the books of Swami Vivekananda minimum 15 minutes every day night before going to sleep, and you will start getting confidence within 2 months. And I am reading the book of Swami Vivekananda for last 2 months, and I am not getting confidence. First time I received that letter, and after reading that letter, my confidence also gone. So far I was telling with confidence, read the books of Swami Vivekananda and it will increase your confidence. Now here is one letter where she says, after reading the books of Swami Vivekananda for 2 hours, 2 months, I am not getting confidence. I also lost confidence. But within 1 month, another letter I received from her. Swamiji, I wrote to you that after reading the books of Swami Vivekananda, I am not getting confidence. Then I thought, after dropping the letter, so many people are getting the benefit. Why should I not get the benefit? I started reading the books again. This time, not only with the eyes, but also with the mind, with full concentration. And I am getting confidence. And that again increased my confidence. So now with full confidence, I can tell you, if you want to increase your confidence, start reading the books of Swami Vivekananda and start getting confidence. Within 2 months, money back guarantee, challenge. Start reading the books of Swami Vivekananda every day before going to sleep. 15 minutes. Read the books of Swami Vivekananda and you will get confidence. If you do not get confidence, then write to me. Now email is also there. My email ID, nikhilesh@gmail.com, and my YouTube link and everything is there. Website is there. You can connect to me and tell Swamiji, that time, that webinar, you told that you read the books of Swami Vivekananda and within 2 months you will start getting confidence. I am not getting confidence. Write to me. I am waiting for your mail. And if you get, you must tell me also that yes, we have followed your advice and after 2 months we are getting confidence. Then I'll be very happy. So with full confidence, I'm telling you, already you have been this particular topic has been dealt with. I have given you a formula. I've given you one case example, how one person with one quotation of Swami Vivekananda, one Swamiji, achieved so much in his life. What a great personality he was. What a great unique personality and a dynamic personality. And I had the great fortune to be with him, to get his company for many years. And in fact, a lot of training I received from him. I cannot tell you what a great personality it was. And in fact, the newspapers used to tell him is Vivekananda of Chhattisgarh. Like that, they used to denote him. And really, he had all the qualities in a small way. His well-built personality, tall and well-built personality. What a great orator, particularly in Hindi. Of course, so great personality. With one particular quotation of Swami Vivekananda, his life got changed. And he could change the lives of so many thousands of people. They have got inspired by him. Thousands today in India have been inspired by him. Out of which more than 20 have joined Ramakrishna Mission. 2 girls have joined Sarada Math, and hundreds of them are working so much in the villages, in the rural areas, tribal areas. They are working. In Abu Jumaat, hundreds of these volunteers are working day and night with great confidence. And he has given confidence to others. He got so much confidence by one passage of Swami Vivekananda that he is now full of confidence, and he was so confident that he gave confidence to so many others who are in turn giving confidence to others. Just imagine one quote of Swami Vivekananda. So read the books of Swami Vivekananda, not only with the eyes, also with the mind, like that girl, with full concentration, at least for 15 minutes every day before gliding into sleep, and you will start getting confidence within 2 months. Just make an experiment. I'm very much sure. You start with any book, Thoughts of Power, Letters of Swami Vivekananda, the other small books you can start with, Swami Vivekananda, Friend of all these books you can start with, particularly of the quotations, and you will feel tremendous power coming to you. So I want to reserve more time for question answer session. So my message only today is only this: read the books of Swami Vivekananda and get self-confidence. This is my message. Thank you very much. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you, Swamiji. If anyone wants to ask any questions, can we start, Swamiji?
Yes, yes, sure. We can
Yeah.
start.
If anyone wants to ask any questions, please go ahead. Please introduce yourself and ask the question, or any feedback you want to give, you can.
I'm Akash, ma'am.
Sir, can
Swamiji
you
from.
please be a bit louder?
Madam, I'm Akash.
Yeah, a bit louder, sir, if possible.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Madam, is it audible?
Yes, yes, sir, it is.
Okay, okay. Swamiji, can you tell some books of Swami Vivekananda to get the inspiration, please?
Yes, yes, very good. One book is Thoughts of Power.
Okay,
I'm
Swami.
mentioning all these books only for the youth because at this age, I'm giving you small books to start with. Okay. The one is Thoughts of Power. Second is Swami Vivekananda, the Friend of All. These two small books. Then My India, the India Eternal. My India, the India Eternal. That is another very good. Then Letters of Swami Vivekananda. Letters of Swami Vivekananda. Then Talks with Swami Vivekananda. Talks with Swami Vivekananda. Of course, there is complete works of Swami Vivekananda in 9 volumes, but you can start with these 5 volumes. These 5 volumes are already there in the complete works of Swami Vivekananda, but to start with the small books, and later on, then you can go with the 4 yogas, particularly Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Gyan Yoga, and Karma Yoga. And then lectures from Colombo to Almora. And of course, you may also try to go to the life of Swami Vivekananda by Eastern and Western disciples in 2 volumes. Because his life itself is telling how full of confidence he was. He had to undergo such a terrible struggle in life, so much of struggle, and yet because of his self confidence, he could win the game. So much of struggle he had undergone. Eh, Whatever our youth are now undergoing, same struggle he has undergone. At the just when he was studying, at that time his father died, and suddenly he was from an aristocratic family, and because of his relatives vacating their house and all that, and they had no place to live, nothing to eat, because and then he was going for employment, and apply, no reply. At that time he was a graduate doing post graduation and law graduate, and still at that time the unemployment problem was not so big, and yet apply, no reply at that time, and he had nothing to eat. You just go through the book of Swami Vivekananda, how much struggle he faced, but self confidence. He did not lose self confidence. And with that self confidence, he underwent all the struggles. Then again, he went throughout the country, walking all alone without money. He had taken a vow not to touch money. So if somebody gives the ticket, railway tickets, okay. Otherwise, walking all the way, all the tirthas. He came to Gujarat, stayed here for 8 months. He had darshan of Dwarka. He went to Rameshwaram. Went to this Kanyakumari, Vivekan Rock, where now we got the Vivekan Rock Memorial. There he meditated. In Karnataka, he came. Hyderabad, he gave the first lecture in Hyderabad before going to America. Only one experience he had, public lecture, was in Hyderabad. So, during his Parivrajaka days, he had to face so much difficulty. All these difficulties he faced with self-confidence. Then went to America. Again, so many problems. First of all, going to America, no money. And Raja Ramnad had told, I will give money, but he said no. Afterwards, he said no. Then what to do? Then these youngsters, they collected money somehow or the other, and somehow they bought a ticket. Now, they did not know it would be so cold there. No clothes and no money to purchase the clothes. And he was shivering. And then the parliament religion said that, oh, the time for admission is gone. You cannot come. Now you cannot be taken as a speaker. Not only that, where is the credential? And he had not no letter of introduction also. No organization had sent him. He had gone by his own thing just because of some youngsters in Madras told, so he went. All these difficulties. And then it is by chance that he was there in near Boston, and near Boston, the Harvard University professor he met, And that time he gave a letter of introduction. So because of that, he got the admission into the Parliament religion. Again, there was so much struggle. Then he became popular throughout. And then the Christian missionaries, their income went down. And some Christian missionaries, they became his friend. And so many Christians became his disciples also. But a few Christian missionaries and a few Indians also, they joined together and had a propaganda against him, against his character also. Character assassination was there. He had to undergo all these problems, but with self-confidence, he underwent all the problems, then came back, then he was received like a world conqueror. And that time he gave this message, Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapya Varan, Nibodhata, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. And he aroused the whole country, which was sleeping for 1,000 years, slavery. And he all roused the people. Again, he established Ramakrishna Mission. Again, there was so much problem while establishing Ramakrishna. Then he started a school for the girls. There were so many problems. All these problems he faced from within and without with self-confidence. You just look at the life of Swami Vivekananda. That also itself will give you how to get confidence. So read the life of Swami Vivekananda. It is available in 2 parts, in 2 volumes. Swami Life of Swami Vivekananda by Eastern and Western Discipleship. That is the most authentic biography. Is another one, smaller one. If you can't go through the 2 volumes, then go through 1 volume. That is Swami Nikhilananda, biography by Swami Nikhilananda. Of course, there is biography by Romarola, the French savant, but it is little difficult because it is translation from French to English. And better to go through Swami Nikhilananda's book of Swami Vivekananda life that you go through. And also, as I told you once again, Thoughts of Power. And there's so many small books. The Spake Vivekananda, Thoughts of Power. The we have brought out a book, Way to Success. The Way to Success is there. Then small book. Then Gospel of Strength. Likewise, so many books are there from Hyderabad. Also, they've been published. Books on Swami Vivekananda. So all these books are there. You can read the books, and I'm sure you will get the power and you will get the confidence. Yes, now there's some question is come. What if someone brings down our self-confidence in family by saying always negative talks? You got 2 ears. One is for in, one for out. Don't take inside. Just straight from here to here. In, out. Whatever is of importance, you take it. Rest, forget. Swami Vivekananda was asked this question by Sri Ramakrishna. If some people start criticizing, what he will say? Then he said, I will think that the dogs are barking. हाथी चले बाजार में, कुत्ता भौंके हजार, साधुन को दुर्भाव नहीं, निंदे चाहे संसार. Don't look at the criticism of others, whether they are family members or whether they are outside or whether they are friends or whether the neighbors. They will try to pull you down. But why should you allow yourself to be pulled down? You think the dogs are barking, but don't tell that you are dogs. Otherwise, there will be problem. Inside your mind, you should think dogs are barking. When the elephant goes, dogs start barking. Elephant does not look at them. Don't look at them. You are like an elephant. Dogs are barking. Don't look at them. That means do not give any attention to them. If you find there is some truth in their criticism, okay, then you try to reform yourself. Take that one. Thank them for correcting them. But if you find they are unnecessarily, deliberately trying to pull you down, they are having their leg, pulling your legs, and they are backbiting, don't look at them. Just neglect them. After some efforts, they feel frustrated. Nothing is happening to these people. Shameless. And then they will stop their activities. So best way of counteracting such people who are trying to bring down your self-confidence is not to listen to them, not to react to them and make them frustrated by your non-action. That is the solution. Any other question?
Swamiji. Pranam Swamiji.
Yes, namaste.
Yes, I'm Samushri Talukdar. And my question is, sometimes procrastination is a great reason for lack of self-confidence. Like there's some work that we need to do and we keep procrastinating. Abhi nahi kal, kal nahi parso. So this happens and at the end of the day, then are nahi hoga
Yeah,
mujhse. So this happens.
very
So
good.
what is the
Yes, yes.
practical solution?
या वो प्रैक्टिकल सॉल्यूशन इज काल करे सो आज करे सो अब पलमा पल्ले होएगी बहुरी कवर कब. दिस इज तुलसीदास सेज काल करे सो आज करे सो अब पलमा पल्ले होएगी बहुरी करेगो कब. Whatever you want to do tomorrow, do it today. What you don't want to do today, you do it now. Now or never. Take this one. And for that, the best way of time management, you must learn time management. 86,400 seconds are deposited in your bank account, isn't it? Nobody gets more, nobody gets less. Even Prime Minister also gets same 86,400 seconds. Swami Vivekananda also got 86,400 seconds. We are also getting the same amount of money, but is 86,400 seconds. Now, this is a special bank account which does not allow any over carrying forward. Today, whatever you have spent your money, that is yours. Whatever not spent, unspent balance will not carry it forward. So try to utilize each and every second. Okay, that is number one. Now, try to divide your work into 4 parts. Most urgent, most important. Less urgent, more important. Then more urgent, less important. And less urgent, less important. Divide these 4 activities. First, you should try to do most urgent and most important. Sometimes what we do, most urgent we do, but most important we don't do. No. Most urgent and most important first. Then second is most important, less urgent. Then more urgent, less important. And then less important and less urgent. You divide these activities into 4. And for the first type of activity, kaal kare so aaj kare so ab, that is you must do it today and now, because they are most important, most urgent. Okay, then you will find at least, because after all there will be some activities for which you will not have time. For example, this internet cheating and chatting, go together. Finally you will get less time for that. If you divide that thing, the important activities will be done and unimportant activity will be left out. Good for you in every possible way. Very good. Any other question?
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you.
Everybody has got so much confidence that no question is there. Already full of confidence.
Maharaj, tell them about Swamiji in Porbandar, in Vadodara.
Yes.
His vision in Gujarat about a resurgent India.
Swami Vivekananda, when throughout the country he went, he spent his maximum time in Gujarat. There were many reasons for that. First of all, he had gone first to Ahmedabad. From Ahmedabad, he went to Vadwan. From Vadwan to Limdi. Limdi, some tantric sadhus caught hold of him, and then there was a danger on his life. But the Maharaja of Limdi saved him. Otherwise, he would have died there itself. So somehow he was saved by the Limdi Maharaja Yashwant Singh Ji. And then he said, now you should be very careful in where you are lodging. So he said, I am giving you letter of introduction. You should go and stay with them only, either Diwanji or Maharaj and all that. And he became his disciple also, Yashwant Singh Ji. Then from there he went to Bhavnagar. Junagadh, Diwan Haridas Vihar Desai became his great friend. And he wrote 13 letters to Junagadh Diwanji. And from Junagadh, then he went to this. There is Mount Girnar, where he did tapasya for 1 week. Approximately 1 week he was there in a cave on Mount Girnar, which is considered to be older than Himalayas. And thousands of rishis have done tapasya there. It is considered like that. Very sacred mountain. Even Pawhari Baba had tapasya there. So Swamiji did tapasya there in Mount Girnar. Then he went to Dwarka and Somnath. And Dwarka, he was very much perturbed by the poverty and by the miserable condition of the nation. There he had a vision that was a great light was coming of new India. Then he got very much confident that no, India will come up. He had that divine vision in Dwarka. And then Somnath also he meditated near the ocean, and there was the dilapidated bungalow, dilapidated temple. At that time, the new temple had not come up. So he was very much perturbed why this temple was destroyed so many times. So in his lecture also, from Colombo to Almora, he says, if you look at the temple of Somnath, you will find how this, our religion is our great, the main force is the sort of prana of our country, life force of country. Why? So when 7 times it was destroyed, this Somnath temple, and again it has come up. At that time, the new temple had not come up. Had Swamiji then arrived at that time, he would have been still happy. If he comes alive today, he'll be very happy, because again it has been reconstructed by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and Kanhaiya Munshi and all that. Very beautiful temple of Somnath is there. But when Swamiji there, it was not there, but he meditated. Perhaps he meditated that there will be new temple will come up. And his desire has been fulfilled. The temple has come up, Somnath. So Swamiji, and there in Porbandar, this Shankar Pandurang Pandit, he was the administrator of Porbandar. With him, he was stayed there for about 4 months. Why he stayed 4 months? There was a big library, beautiful library containing many books. And Swamiji had great love for the books. So he fell in love with the books, and he stayed on there for 4 months. He learned, he studied this Patanjali Sutras, and then he also studied French there, because Shankar Pandurang Pandit said, you ought to go to the West, because you know so beautiful Sanskrit, so beautiful English, you must go to the West. And when you go to the West, you will need to know French. So I'll teach you French. And Shankar Pandurang Pandit knew many languages. So Swami Vivekananda learned French there. In fact, whatever bombs he threw in the Chicago Parliament of Religions, the thought bombs of non-violence, the thought bombs of universal religion, the thought bombs of universal brotherhood, all these thought bombs were prepared. All they were prepared in Porbandar. He threw at Chicago, but their preparation was done in Porbandar. He studied all these scriptures, and he got strengthened intellectually there. So that is a great thing. There is a book, Vivekananda in Gujarat, which you can get if we can have in library. And then, of course, we have a souvenir in which we have brought out everything Vivekananda in Gujarat. It is available in our website, rkmrajkot.org, www.rkmrajkot.org. If you go to that, you will find there is a souvenir photograph. Just click it, and you get all the details which I am telling you now. Very good. Any other question?
Vadodara story?
Vadodara, yes. Vadodara, where Swamiji first went to Ahmedabad, then Vadhavan, Limdi, then Bhavnagar, then Junagadh, then Dwarka, Somnath, and then he went to Kutch, Bhuj, Mandvi, Narayan Sarovar, Ashapura Mataji, then came back to Junagadh, then went to Palitana, then went to Nadiyad, and last destination was Vadodara. From Baroda, he went to Bombay, Bombay to Mahabaleshwar, Mahabaleshwar on to Karnataka, Belgaum, and then Hyderabad, and then further down Madras, Rameshwaram, Kanyakumari. Like that, this is whole route. So Baroda was his last destination of Gujarat. So Baroda, he stayed with the Diwanji of Baroda at that time, Manibhai Jashbhai, who had lodged him. And then there also Baroda, Swami Vivekananda wrote a letter to his Haridas Vihardas Desai, that your family members, they took care of me very nicely in Nadiyad. And I met Manibhai Nabubhai Dwivedi, who was a great writer. I was happy to meet him. All these things, he writes that letter. That is the first letter we get after 1 year. We get with the letter of Swami Vivekananda written from Baroda, 26 April 1892. So 26 April 1892, he writes, today I am leaving Baroda for Bombay. So that was the end of his journey in Gujarat. So Gujarat, he met so many Maharajas. So many Maharajas became his disciples. Maharaja of Limdi, Maharaja of Bhavnagar, Maharaja of Kutch, and so many Diwanjis also became very good friends and admirers So he took a lot of things from Gujarat and gave many things to Gujarat. So when you come to Gujarat, you will see all these things. Already there are 3 memorials in Gujarat now. Porbandar, the Bhojeshwar bungalow in which Swami Vivekananda stayed, same bungalow has been converted to Vivekananda Memorial, Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Memorial, Porbandar. The same bungalow where Dilaram bungalow where Swamiji stayed as the guest of the then Diwan Manibhai Jasbai has been converted into memorial. On 18th April 2005, Narendra Modi, at that time the Chief Minister of Gujarat, came personally and handed over that bungalow to his Guru Swami Atmasthanji Maharaj on 18 April 2005, and that we have got a memorial. And Limdi, that palace in which Swamiji stayed, was handed over to us by the descendants of Maharaja of Limdi, and that is also now Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Memorial Limdi. So the 3 memorials are already there in Gujarat, and we are trying to have more memorials. Wherever Swamiji stayed, we are trying to convert them into memorials in Gujarat.
Any questions, please? Any observations from the participants before we take leave?
Yes, Swamiji, there's one question here in the chat box. I'm getting afraid when I'm speaking in the meeting. How can I overcome it?
Very nice.
Even I know the correct information, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Very. It's a very nice question. Now, this happens with everybody. Don't think it is happening with you only. It happens with everybody. But you have to start. If you start cycling, also in the beginning, you are afraid. When you start swimming, in the beginning, you are afraid. When you start speaking, in the beginning, you are afraid. Afterwards, it becomes so natural to you, you don't want to leave the mic. Then you don't want to leave the mic. But in the beginning, you are afraid. Your feet are shaking. This is quite natural. So what we should do? So we should start. If you think that cycling is difficult, then you will never be able to do cycling. Never. So start cycling. But I will fall down. Yes, fall down for once or twice. Doesn't matter. So similarly, start talking in a small group. I will give you a success mantra for any endeavor. Success mantra for endeavor. Start with the minimum. Practice the easiest. Start with the minimum. Practice the easiest. Now, for example, for talking, start with the minimum. Start talking for 5 minutes and start with the easiest. Talk to only 2 of your friends for 5 minutes on a particular topic. You tell them to clap after the lecture is over, whether it is good or bad. That it gives you encouragement. Then start with 4 friends, 10 minutes. Start with 10 friends, 15 minutes. Then gradually start finding you are speaking to 30, 40 people at a time, and 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you don't mind. Then gradually you become a platform speaker. But before that, you have to prepare properly, prepare the topic. Preparation should be there. Note down the points, and then start. As if it is a start, feel these 2 people are not there. It is 2,000 people. Think 2,000 people are clapping. Then gradually you increase the number of audience, and you will find the success is coming to you.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Yeah, so one more question was there.
One question in the chat box again.
Yes.
How to draw a line between confidence and overconfidence?
Oh, very nice. Very nice question. So confidence can never be called overconfidence. Always confidence is confidence. You must have as much confidence as possible. Only thing is that you should try to be practical regarding your capabilities. There is infinite power, but they manifested how much power you have got. So start with little more. With little more. You must go to the 7th floor, but don't jump to the 7th floor. 1st floor, 2nd floor, 3rd floor, like that you have to go. Don't jump, otherwise you will fall down. So similarly, if you jump to the 7th floor, that is overconfidence. Go to the 7th floor by going through the stages, that is confidence. This is the difference. So taking into consideration practically your own aptitude, your own attitude, your own capability, present capability. There is infinite capability inside, but present capability that you have, the manifested capability that you think of, then go one step forward, again one step forward, one step forward. That is confidence. So, and then always remember, confidence gives you self-confidence, and overconfidence gives you ego. Ego is very bad. When you become egoistic, you will find the failures coming to you later on. So don't be egoistic. If you are having confidence and not egoistic, it is below confidence. But if you are having ego, that means you are having overconfidence. Ego is the main thing.
Yeah, next question. Continue.
Anyone has any other questions? Please go ahead.
Observation is there. Read from the chat box.
Yes, Mamaji. Recently, I've come to know that that Vivekananda Swamiji has visited Goa, and now Swamiji birthday government has decided to convert into a museum. If you can throw a light on this exist visit,
well,
it will be a great help, as we hardly know about his visit.
Yeah, actually speaking, we have been trying from long many years that Swamiji visited Goa, and that everybody knows. And Goa already we had a small center, and that is it was decided to take that center. It was started by our devotees. Then the devotees had also purchased some land. So on that land, lot of development work is being done. So Goa has now become, though the legal formalities are yet to be done, and that is why we are not able to declare that Goa as an official center of Ramakrishna Mission. But already when Swamiji has gone there, a few Swamijis have gone there 3-4 years back. So Goa will become a branch center of Ramakrishna Mission. Simultaneously, we have requested the government to start a museum in the name of Swami Vivekananda in a prominent place, so that all the people can get the inspiration. So everything is in the process, and I think by the grace of Swami Vivekananda, we will be able to get success.
Any feedback for the session?
And there's a book also, Swami Vivekananda Travels in Goa, published from Ramakrishna Chennai. Atma Shraddhanji has compiled.
Yes, that book is there, Swami Vivekananda in Goa, a beautiful small booklet giving the details what all Swamiji did in Goa.
Chennai Math publication. Yeah, okay. So before we conclude, Maharaj was in the beginning part of his talk, he was mentioning about the Atman, the Shunvanta Vishwe concept, and Swamiji's deep respect and the idea of Atma Bhav, how that can become confident. There is a small video about this on the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, which we made out of our Gita Darshan Museum. I'll just play that in just 2-3 minutes. If possible, Maharaj can see that, and it will be a good ending for our class. It is a graphic. Out of the painting, we have put voiceover and then brought it to life. It's a very interesting video of the same topic from the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Able to see the screen, Akshata?
Yes, Swamiji.
Weapons do not cut it, fire does not burn it, water also does not moisten it, and wind does not dry it.
Beyond the three bodies of man and deep beneath them, in them and through them, like a thread in and through the flowers of a garland is the self or the Atman or the soul, the persistent reality. And that soul is eternal and universal. It cannot be burned, nor can it be cut by a sword. It can't be drowned in a flood or blown away by the wind. It remains in and through them as the white cinema screen, which can't be burned or drenched by the scenes of fire and flood displayed on it. And we are that Atman, immortal and infinite. It is ignorance to identify ourselves with the changing bodies. It is wisdom to know who we are. We are the changeless and blissful soul who is present in us while we grow from childhood to old age. Who am I? Am I the body? Am I the mind? Am I the brain? Who am I? I am the Atman. A lion's cub is brought up among the sheep. It is grazing and bleating like the sheep. It is scared of the lions as the other sheep are afraid. It does not know that it is really a lion. Once, it was taken to a pond by a friendly lion and shown its own reflection. It came to know its Swaswarupa or original self. It's not a sheep, it is but a lion. And the moment the truth dawned, it started roaring fearlessly, gleefully, majestically. It is a lion, fearless, brave, and strong. How foolish it has been of the view that it is only a sheep. Are we wise if we identify ourselves with that which we are not? Similarly, as long as we are ignorant of our Swaswarupa, we think we are the changing bodies and feel miserable. When once we know who we are, we reign supreme. Let us know who we are and enjoy the bliss of self. Alexander, on his way back to Greece, wanted to take with him a spiritual person. He saw one such realized soul in the Himalayas, blazing with spiritual splendor. Alexander requested him to accompany him, offering gold. Nothing could tempt or threaten the sage. He was above all, lured by nothing, scared of nothing. Alexander was astounded by the spiritual effulgence of the yogi.
Yes, this is the video which we are nearly for 55-60 videos that we have produced of all this Gita Darshan museum that we have in Hyderabad. Those who wish to can come to Hyderabad and see the video, or it is not available for sale. Only we send it to our mutt centers, whoever asks. So on behalf of all of you, I convey my pranams to Nikhileshwaranandaji Maharaj and hope he will bless us all and inspire all of you in the future also, whenever possible, as per his availability and his time. Thank you, Maharaj. Pranams from Hyderabad, pranam from different parts of the country, and a wonderful message which you have given on confidence. And from today and last 4 or 5 days that you have been discussing, tomorrow it will conclude with another faculty dealing with confidence. And we conclude today with Asatoma Sadgamaya Stotra. Okay. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Announcement tomorrow, same time, 6:10. Please log in. Those are registered for the course. And others, local people, Hyderabad, can attend the Bhagavad Gita class from 5:45 to 6:45 in Telugu. Thank you. Namaste, Shubharatri, and pranam to Swamiji again.
Best wishes. All the best.